We often talk about AI like it's some far-off thing, always just around the corner. But what if I told you that for the world's top manufacturers, the future is, well, it's right now. They're not just tinkering with it, they are literally running their factories on AI. And guess what? We got a look at their playbook, and we are going to break down exactly how they're completely changing the game. Okay, so let's set the stage here. We are in the middle of this massive shift. You've heard the term, the fourth industrial revolution. And the engine driving this thing for the absolute frontrunners, you guessed it, it's AI. It is fundamentally changing how things get made. And look, this isn't some small, incremental change we're talking about. A full 58% of the most important projects at these top-tier manufacturers are now powered by AI. We're talking about these elite factories. They call them lighthouses. And for them, AI isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's the absolute core of how they operate. But here's what really blew my mind. The sheer speed of this takeover. Think about this. Back in 2018, AI was in just 14% of their top use cases. Fast forward to the end of 2023, and that number has exploded to 58%. That's not a slow and steady climb, people. That is a rocket ship. The revolution isn't just coming, it's accelerating like crazy. So you gotta ask, right? How are they pulling this off? What are their secrets? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. All right, first things first, let's meet the heroes of the story, the Lighthouses. And no, that's not just some cool-sounding name. It's an actual title for this elite group of manufacturers who has absolutely cracked the code on using this tech at scale for huge results. And just so you know, this isn't some internal award. These are companies officially recognized by the World Economic Forum for their leadership. I mean, these guys are the standard bearers. They're basically the ones writing the map for everyone else to follow, showing how to transform their operations and get, well, incredible returns. So what kind of returns are we talking about? How about doubling or tripling productivity? Or what about cutting defects by 99%? Yeah, you heard that right. Plus, they're boosting service levels by 50%. And on top of all that, using 30% less energy. This isn't just talk. This is real, tangible, game-changing stuff. Okay, so we know who these lighthouses are, and we know they're getting absolutely mind-blowing results. So now, let's get to the good part, the playbook. We've dug in and pulled out their 5 big secrets. All right, secret number 1, and this one sounds simple, but it's totally profound. AI isn't just some side project for them, stuck in one little corner of the factory. No, they're weaving it into the very fabric of their operations across the entire value chain, from the moment an order comes in to the second it ships out the door. Let's look at some real-world examples. In planning, a company called Ingrosys boosted its forecast accuracy by 27%. In quality, Vitric Hero used computer vision to slash their scrap rate by a massive 68%. KATL is using AI to predict when machines will break down before they do. And China Resources cut their delivery lead times by almost 40%. See, it's everywhere, making a huge impact at every single step. Okay, secret number 2 is a real game changer. It's a strategy they call assetization. And the core idea is brilliant. Instead of having AI be this mysterious thing that only a handful of data scientists can touch, they package it up. They turn these complex solutions into simple tools that pretty much anyone can use. They're literally democratizing AI for their entire workforce. So what does assetization really mean? Well, think of it like this. Instead of building a custom car from scratch every single time, they create a set of high-quality, reusable parts, like an engine, a chassis, wheels. They build toolkits, they use modular designs, and they wrap it all up with training so that a cool innovation from one factory can be easily snapped into place at any other factory. It turns a local solution into a global asset. So let me give you a perfect example of this in action. A company called Agilent, they're in life sciences, built their own internal library of these AI tools. But here's the magic move. They didn't just give them to the engineers, they empowered the technicians on the floor to deploy them. And the result? A 49% reduction in defects in just 4 months. That is the power of assetization. Secret number 3 is all about leveling up. It's about moving beyond just optimizing one little piece of the puzzle. The Lighthouses are building these AI-powered command centers that act like the central brain for the entire factory, orchestrating everything to work together in perfect harmony. And this completely flips the script on the role of the human worker. See, in the old way, you had a person in the loop, constantly making small individual decisions. The Lighthouse way puts the person on the loop. They're not playing the instruments anymore. They're the conductor of the orchestra, supervising this incredibly smart automated system that handles all the nitty-gritty. It's a huge shift in thinking. All right, secret number 4. This is where we get into the really cutting-edge stuff, generative AI. Now, the Lighthouses are using this to go way beyond the neat and tidy data you get from machines on the shop floor. They're using it to tackle the messy stuff, the unstructured data, in really complex areas like product design, talking to suppliers, and even procurement. And this quote from the chief manufacturing officer at KTL just nails the vision. He asks, "Can we help a recent college grad become an independent designer in just 6 months with this tool?" Think about that. They're not just trying to make things faster. They want to use Gen AI as a kind of expert co-pilot to make a brand new employee perform like someone with decades of experience. It's about a quantum leap in skill and innovation. And that brings us to the final secret, number 5. And honestly, this might be the most important one, speed. Because these lighthouses have already built such a strong digital foundation, they are not getting stuck in what people call pilot purgatory with generative AI. They are blowing past the testing phase and deploying this stuff at an absolutely insane pace. You want to hear something crazy? A company called ACG Capsules built a Gen AI assistant for their technicians. They developed and deployed it in 2 weeks. By week 5, just 3 weeks later, 3/4 of their operators were already using it. The results? A 40% drop in the time it takes to repair machines. Just let that sink in. We are now talking about massive, company-wide impact in a matter of weeks, not years. So, what does all this add up to? It's pretty simple, really. The game has completely changed. This isn't just about a new piece of tech anymore. It's about a totally new clock speed for business. The starting line has moved. Yep, the starting line for adopting new technology has officially been redrawn. All that hard work these lighthouses did over the last 5 years building their data and AI muscles, it's now letting them adopt Gen AI at a speed that's just blistering. What used to be a marathon that took years is now a sprint that takes weeks. So there you have it. The lighthouses are not waiting around. They're accelerating full speed into a future that's being written by AI. They've shown us the playbook. They've proven it's not science fiction. It's happening right now. And that really just leaves one question for everyone else. Where are you in the race?